Call this special session of the Milwaukee City Council to order. This meeting is being conducted by video conference. The public has been invited to watch the meeting on the city's YouTube channel, Comcast 30 and city limits, or by logging into the Zoom video conference as an attendee. The public may submit comments in writing by email to ocr@milwaukeeoregon.gov. If council takes public testimony, staff will monitor the email inbox, the Zoom participant list, and the Zoom chat to see if anyone would like to speak. We will take comments in the order they are received and seen. Spanish translation services are available upon request. The public is asked to request translation and other meeting accessibility services at least 48 hours before the meeting. Contamos con servicio de traducción al español cuando sea solicitado. Se pide al público que solicite servicios de traducción y otros servicios de accesibilidad para reuniones por lo menos 48 horas antes de la reunión. Translation services are also available in other languages. The public is asked to request translation and other meeting accessibility services at least 48 hours before the meeting. If members of the public become disruptive, we will mute and remove them from the video conference. If that fails to stop these disruptions, we will recess the meeting and return within 5 minutes. If we are unable to continue, council will briefly meet off-air to move unfinished business to the next council agenda. All right. 2 members of our council are not able to make it tonight. They're excused. They had previously planned engagements. So we only have one item on the agenda tonight, and that will be presented by our city manager, Anna.
Thank you, Mayor. So on yesterday afternoon at 4 p.m., I had conversations with some councilors and with the fire chief. The fire chief was requesting that we set a ban on fireworks going into the 4th of July weekend due to the extreme heat that we experienced earlier in the week and basically the burn foliage. We have a tinderbox sitting outside of our buildings right now. And after the fire on Elk Rock Island last year, there was extreme concern from community members and from some of you about what could happen on the 4th of July weekend. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you to see if you have any concerns or want to discuss anything further. But this meeting is to ratify, or I think that is the correct term, Justin. I would ask you to correct me if I'm wrong, the action that I took yesterday and to move that forward.
That's correct. I think we're here to ratify the state of emergency that you declared. It was actually 2 days ago on June 29th.
So, council, any discussions?
I will just say that I think that's what we need to do tonight or this afternoon is ratify. I'm all in support of the emergency declaration the city manager did, and I appreciate her responsiveness to the community concerns we started hearing on Monday and Tuesday. I do think we have a bigger conversation to have ahead about a ban outright. I think the state should frankly be having that discussion. And I was a little surprised. I went on OLIS because I know there have been bills in years past to have a statewide ban, and they've never really gotten traction. And I really would have expected at least to have had that discussed in the wake of last year's fire season, but apparently there was not a fireworks ban bill. I could not find one on OLIS this session, which I found a little surprising. But I do hope we, as a broader community, state, county, will start having that conversation, because this climate situation is not likely to lessen anytime soon.
And Councilor, I appreciate that. I do just want to make sure it's clear, because we've had some concerns expressed from the community about whether or not my emergency order was for fireworks because of noise or if it was because of fireworks because of fire this year. And it is very specifically due to the fire danger that is unique to this year's circumstances. But I would completely agree with you that the climate change component of this means that we are likely to have more of these in the coming years. But just for community members watching in the future, this was set due to the unexpected temperatures and the damage that was caused to the foliage in our community because of that and the ongoing lack of water that's coming out of the sky.
Yeah, and I obviously I support this ban, and the only thing I'd say is that we do need to have a community-wide conversation about the possibility of a ban on the sale of fireworks, because I know that is really a absolutely critical fundraiser for so many community groups that do really great work in our community. So if we're going to talk about something like that, we need to really understand the impacts to, Little League, the Shriners, church groups that rely on that as a funding source for some of their key programming throughout the year. And maybe we need to shift it so that there's a fireworks ban for the 4th of July, but the emphasis is on New Year's. I don't know, but we do need to acknowledge that climate change is making it more and more hazardous to use fireworks during our hottest, driest part of the year. And I hope everyone stays safe.
Yeah, at the very least, we need a bill that allows our fire districts, who are the experts, to be able to declare an emergency and to ban fireworks, which they currently cannot do. As insane as that is. So I put the word out to the legislators that that's got to be a minimum of what we get passed in the next session. Going forward. It's good to know also that Clackamas County voted this morning to ban fireworks countywide. So all of the folks that have been reaching out to us from the Oak Grove area and the other parts of unincorporated Clackamas, it is also banned where you live. So feel free to call the non-emergency line for the sheriff's office and report fireworks use. Good luck with that, but at least it's reported. So if there is no further discussion, I agree entirely with both of you. We are unlikely to see summers that are wet enough going forward because of climate change to allow for fireworks display or for private use of fireworks. Uncontrolled use of fireworks, and I do think that it's one of the things. People wonder why we're doing the work we're doing to stop climate change, and this is just a tiny little piece of what's going to change in your life because of climate change. So with that, I would take a motion. If someone is willing.
Councillor Beatty, you're on mute.
I wanted to pick up on something you said, which was about the calling the non-emergency numbers. Yes, please don't call 911. Call the police or the sheriff's office as relevant to where you live, non-emergency numbers. Recognize that they're not going to be able to respond to all calls, but I still think it's valuable to call. It gives us a count. It gives us an idea of how widespread the issues are. I do hope people will call. The Milwaukee Police non-emergency number is 503-786-7500. So please use that number.
Put it in your phone.
Yes.
Put it in your phone. It's a good contact to have.
Yes.
Did you want to?
I would still entertain a motion.
I move to approve the resolution ratifying the local state of emergency related to extreme and dry conditions and the use of fireworks.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution ratifying the local state of emergency related to extreme and dry conditions and the use of fireworks. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. It passes unanimously by those present. All right. I don't believe we have any further business tonight. Is that correct? Does anybody happen to know the non-emergency line for Clackamas Sheriff? Because some people watching this think they live in Milwaukee and don't. Dan's looking it up. We'll get that in just a second.
Well, so while he's looking it up, we can repeat ours, which is 503-786-7500.
All right, and Mr. Mayor, that non-emergency line for Clackamas County Sheriff's is 503-655-8211. And once more, 503-655-8211, non-emergency number for Clackamas County Sheriff's.
Excellent.
Mayor, we did share on our page, on our Facebook page, the contact information for the Clackamas Fire. If you click on their ban information, it'll take you to that phone number.
Excellent. All right. Well, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
A second?
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.